Welcome guys to another tutorial video. In this tutorial video I am going to teach you how to solve simultaneous linear equation using the elimination method. Now before we continue, I want you to please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. You can as well share this video to your family and friends. Do not forget, my aim is to be in your faces every week. Now the aim of this video is to solve simultaneous linear equation using the elimination method. Now without further ado, I want you to get your pen and paper ready. Let's learn something. Boom. Okay guys, we are on to simultaneous linear equation 2, where I am going to teach you how to solve using the elimination method. I call it the get rid method. Okay, so let's get to business. Alright, so we are going to use some examples to explain this now, but I want you to understand that when none of the coefficients of the unknowns is 1, this method is very suitable for that. The aim of this method is to get rid of one of the unknowns by making its coefficient the same in both equations, and then we are going to add or subtract the equations as necessary. Okay, so let's continue. Let's look at the equation 1 and then equation 2. Do not forget, we should always label our equation as equation 1 and equation 2. Boom and boom. Okay, alright, so what are we going to do? We are going to eliminate. That's the first step. Now what do we eliminate? We are going to eliminate the y. Now how do we eliminate y in such a way that y has the same coefficient? Okay, so we are going to multiply equation 1 by 3 and then multiply equation 2 by 2. This way the coefficient of y in both equations are going to be the same. Okay, now watch it. Okay, so I'm multiplying equation 1 by 3 and then equation 2 by 2, and that's going to give me you can see 3 times 3 gives me 9x. Okay, now look at 3 times 3x gives me 9x, and 3 times 2 gives me 6y. Okay, 2y gives me 6y. Also 3 times 12 gives me 36. And in equation 2 I'm going to multiply by 2. 2 times 5x gives me 10x, and 2 times minus 3y gives me minus 6y, and then 2 times 1 gives me 2. Okay, alright, so let's write on. Now what have we been able to do here? We have been able to make sure that the coefficient of y are the same. Okay, alright, so let's write on. Boom. So what are we going to do? We are going to add the equations together. So 9x plus 10x gives me 19x, plus 6y plus minus 6y gives me 0, and then we have 36 plus 2 gives me 38. So what are we going to do? We're going to divide x by its coefficient, which is 19, and then I have x to be 2. Okay, so this is elimination method. It is elimination method. Very simple. Alright, so now we're going to substitution. So we want to substitute x, which is equal to, in equation 1. So we're going to substitute 2 for x in equation 1. So don't forget, our equation 1 is 3x plus 2y equals 12. So we are going to substitute that right now. Okay, so now it becomes, anywhere we see x we fix 2. So 3 times 2 plus 2y equals 12, and then we have 6 plus 2y equals 12. So 2y equals 12 minus 6, and that gives me 6. So I have my y equals 3. I have my y equals 3. Now some may be asking, how did I get my y equals 3? Now do not forget that 2y equals to 12 minus 6, that gives me what? 6. So 2y equals what? 6. So we're going to divide both sides by 2, which is the coefficient of y, and 2 in 6 gives me what? 3. So my x is 2 and my y is 3. Now this is very simple. Okay, so I have my values here. My x equals 2 and my y was what? 3. Now let's run checks to it. I advise that we run checks to anything we solve, most especially simultaneous linear equations. Very good, very good. Okay, so we are going to substitute 2 for x and 3 for y in both equations. Okay, so 3x plus 2y equals what? Now let's see, equals 3 times 2 plus 2 times 3 equals 6 plus 6, which is what? 12 from the right hand side. Bam! That's very correct. Now the second one is 5x plus 3y equals what? 5x times 2 minus 3 times 3 equals to 10 minus 9 equals 1 from the right hand side. So we are very well correct running what? Checks. Alright, now remember that an equation remains the same if we multiply or divide all the terms by the same number. That's very correct. Now in the above example, instead of substituting 2 for x to find y, why can't we substitute with x to find y? Now for example, we actually made the coefficient of y the same in the previous one we just saw. So now we're going to make x the same. Now how are we going to do that? Now watch. In equation 1 we are going to multiply by what? 5, and equation 2 we are going to multiply by what? 3. Now this way we are able to make the coefficient of x the same. Okay, now by multiplying this, do not forget that in the question there we have 3x plus 2y. Okay, so when you multiply 5 by 8, it means 5 times 3x gives me 15x, and 5 plus 2y, 5 times plus 2y gives me 10y, and 5 times 12 gives me what? 60. The same thing in equation 2, 3 times 5x gives me 15x, minus 9y times 3 minus 3y times 3 gives me 9y, and then 1 times 3 gives me what? 3. So all what I'm doing here is to make the coefficient of x the same, is to get rid of x. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Do not forget that the first one we got rid of what? Y. But now we want to see if by getting rid of x, are we going to get the same answer? Fine, yes, we're going to get the same answer. So let's see. Now what are we going to do? We're going to subtract the answer now. So we'll subtract the answer. What do you have? You have 19y equals 57. Okay, plus 10 minus y. Okay, so y minus times minus gives me what? Plus. So plus 10y plus 9 gives me what? 19y equals 57. And we're dividing both sides by 19, which is the coefficient of y, and then we're going to have y equals what? 3. So it is the same thing. We're always going to get the same answer. It is very simple. This method can be very useful when the first value is a fraction, since fractions often give difficult working when subtracted. Okay, this method is very simple. Elimination method is very simple. In the first video I put you through on how to solve using substitution method, and substitution method says that the substitution method says that the coefficient of one of the unknowns in the given equation has to be 1. That is only when you use the substitution method. In this method, it says none of the coefficients of the unknowns is 1. Okay, none of the coefficient of the unknown is 1. Then it is best that you use elimination method. You are going to get everything. Now do not forget that there are certain rules guiding this guiding solving simultaneous equation. When necessary, always arrange the given equations so that the unknowns are in alphabetical order on the left hand side. Okay, now see, okay, on the left hand side, and the numbers are on the right hand side. Okay, Now don't forget left and right. Okay, no, we don't write x15, instead we have 15x. Okay, then we add the equations if the coefficient of the variable to be eliminated are equal but of different signs. Okay, so you see, we add when they have different signs and we subtract when they are of same signs. Okay, I believe you will watch this video all over and all over again. You would be able to be equipped with knowledge of solving simultaneous linear equation using any of these methods. Thank you guys. I believe you've got value from this video. Now do not forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell. You can as well share this video to families and friends. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.